And I
Yes.
love the fact that you listed it and that it's saving you money because you don't have to spend to get, a demo team in there. It's not going to a landfill and you're actually making money. I love
Yes.
that. Like I think that that is just such a great thing to do and I love that you're sharing this with other people because I would love to see more people do this. Hi, Elan. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here. Um,
Take care.
why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Elan Vanwick. Interestingly enough, we lived in Toronto up until about 3 months ago, and so yeah, it was kind of in the back of our minds for a while, moving across country closer to the in-laws. So with a 10-month-old and a 3-year-old, yeah, there's zero regret there. But yeah, we moved to Calgary. We obviously had to wait until because we had a house in Toronto, sold that, bought a house in Calgary, and hence, yeah, brings me here to your course. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, and so what do you do for a living?
So I run a recruitment agency, so it's kind of nice that I can work remotely. Um, but yeah, that's what I do, and so far so good working from Calgary.
Great. Okay, amazing. And
Yeah.
so you're renovating your house right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So we're in the thick of it. Yeah. But no, I got into your course early on, which was nice. We kind of had in our mind we either buy a house that's fully done or we get something that needs a bit of work, and so we ended up going for the latter. Um, and your course has been really useful. We made it through the 3D renders, did the elevations, so kind of got used to SketchUp, which is pretty good, and decided to do that part ourselves. Um, it's a house that's totally fine, but it was redone in the early 2000s. So we bought it for the lot. It's right on the water, which is really nice. But it needed some modernizing. We'll call it that. Thankfully, we're not doing not changing anything structurally.
Awesome.
But kitchen needs a facelift, new ensuite bathroom, a lot of bits and bobs around the house.
Yeah, amazing. So that's what's so great. So you were able to use Renovation Planning Academy and make all these decisions about your finishes and everything for your kitchen, bathrooms, that type of stuff. But really, it's just aesthetics, which is great for you. Nothing structural.
Nothing structural. Honestly, I wasn't even sure getting into it. We knew that, well, we saw the costs of hiring designers and stuff like that. So we were like, you know what, we can do it ourselves. And it actually hasn't been that hard or even that long. It took us, I would say, when we bought it, so we were able to get plans and all that. Probably took us 3 months,
Yeah,
and so then we closed. And right now we are in the middle of the demo process, which is, yeah,
amazing.
the house looks. It's hard to see what it's gonna be. It's what it's gonna look like, but
Yeah.
we are in the middle of it right now.
You're in the middle of demolition. Well, that's very exciting that you're there now, at least. It's always a big day for people. And I know that you have a very special story that I want you to share today
Yes.
because I think that it's such a common situation for people to be in when they're during this in this demolition phase. And I really think there are some important lessons to be learned for our audience. So I would love to hear you tell us this tale.
Yes. So when we got the house, like the kitchen is fine. Even the bathroom, we're getting like gutting the powder room as well. Everything is totally fine. It's in really nice condition. Clearly in 2002 it would have been fantastic. It's just not our style. So we obviously felt horrible at the thought of chucking it into the landfill. So then I had a friend come up to me and say, "Well, why don't you try list it?" And in my mind, I was like, who is going to buy a kitchen and all of this stuff? But sure enough, there are many people who want it because you can list it. So we listed ours at the start and we did everything together: light fixtures, the full kitchen, the pantry, even some of the appliances too. We included it has a pretty nice Wolf gas stove top. So included that in there, cooktop, sorry. And then we listed it for, I think we started at $12,000. Had kind of a couple people interested, but we in total we had it listed for about 3 weeks, and in the end we ended up getting $5,000,
Wow.
and I don't even need to take it apart. So that's the best part, is that we had already budgeted. We got one quote from a demo company for $13,000 to demo it, but then it would obviously go to the landfill. So we kind of feel like it's a win-win. We have a guy in there right now who is doing all the demo. He's had a flood at his house. So it is a win for him, because he was checking out new cabinetry and new kitchens for him. He said it was going to be $40,000 to $50,000. Wow. So he's doing it himself, taking it out. I don't know. Hopefully it's done within a couple of weeks, but we have had a little setback, and I think this is maybe the story that you're talking about.
It's all this part of the story. I love both parts of it, because
yes.
I honestly think it's so critical. I don't think most people think about selling their cabinetry. They think that, oh, you know, just because it's dated or it's not my style, it doesn't mean that it's not still holding value. And I love the fact that you listed it, and that it's saving you money, because you don't have to spend to get, you know, a demo team in there. It's not going to a landfill, and you're actually making money. I love that. Like, I think that that is just such a great thing to do. And I love that you're sharing this with other people, because I would love to see more people do this.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a thing. My friend who had suggested it to me, actually, he took apart his kitchen himself. And for him, he actually had a long list of buyers interested. For me, it was, I think, fewer people who could actually do the demo. So that's all. But 2 days ago, I've been like working in the basement, and I hear him puttering away up there, and I just hear a gigantic boom. I truly thought the whole hood had fallen down onto the ground. And I ran upstairs, and the poor guy, he had fallen. He'd somehow tried to catch himself. Anyways, he landed on his elbow. He thought it was broken.
Gosh.
So he has let me, he went to the hospital last night, and he has let me know this morning that it is not broken, but it's really badly bruised. I think obviously it's horrible, but the good part is that it's not broken. He's going to be fine. I did have my wife whispering in my ear saying, like, what happens if he sues us? It's on our in our house, on our property, dealing with our stuff. Thankfully, I had taken some extra precautions and actually had him sign a contract at the start. Just because you're dealing with a lot of money as well, had him sign a contract, and it had some liability clauses in there. So hopefully, he seems like a nice guy. I don't think it's going to go that way. Nothing is broken, but yeah, didn't see that coming.
No.
Hopefully we have no more accidents.
Gosh, no, absolutely. Like, you never want anything to happen in your home, right? I mean, you never think that it will. I think this is the key lesson here. And, you know, it's obviously terrible that the guy fell, and I'm so glad that nothing, you know, permanent has gone wrong, and that he's going to be fine. And so I don't want to make light of that, what happened at all, you know, and that is not the point really of the story, but it's just that you had the foresight to do the contract. And I think that is just such a critical part of the renovation process that so many people don't give enough credit to and attention to, is having a really, you know, a contract to cover off of everything. If there are people working in your house at any point, you've got to have everything in writing. And so I love that you did that, and that you covered off some of those liability points, and just covered your bases. I mean, obviously you could not have predicted that it would actually happen, that the poor guy would have fallen off. I mean,
no.
But things happen all the time, you know, and that's it. With, like, he, you know, equally he could have, in demoing something, like in taking apart your plumbing or something, he could have nicked something and it could have sprung a leak. Like, that would have been, if that had caused serious damage to your house, who's liable? Is it you?
That's exactly
Is it him? Like, whenever you have anyone working in your home, this is what is so important. And I think that most people who bring in contractors or, you know, interior design, anything like that, you know, you've got to make sure the contracts are in place, no matter what it is. Obviously, if, you know, you're working with designers or anyone who's just helping you pick finish, anything like that, you're not going to need necessarily physical liability clauses in there. But it's, you know, with contractors are in there, there's liability for them, there's liability for your house, there's so many elements in there. So I love that you thought about that. And did you grab some of the clauses from the contract that's inside Renovation Planning Academy?
I did. Hopefully that's okay.
Yes,
no, I did. You know, I even went online. I used some of those clauses, and I kind of mishmashed something together, which like ultimately it's something. Something
Yeah.
is better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. No, amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much for sharing this story. I thought it was really inspiring, and I thought that other people could learn from this. So I just wanted to get your take on the story. So thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, Elan.
Okay, see ya.
Thanks. Bye bye.